You ever look into flat Earth? This was like 8 months ago or something. And I said, right when he said that,
Manny, you ever look into astronomy?
Yeah, right when he said that.
Manny, did you miss 4th grade?
Right when he said that.
Manny, anybody drop you on your head?
Manny, what are you smoking?
I can't believe anything that ever comes out of his mouth again.
That's
what I thought. I'm like, Jesus. And I'm like, Manny, please don't ever bring that shit up again. You keep that shit, dude.
Cut to.
Dude, that's a
We're
CIA
getting dramatic.
psyop.
I sense the turn.
So now, another guy comes, I'm telling you the story. And then Ernest comes up to me and he goes, hey, man, you ever look into flat Earth? I said, dude, Jesus goddamn Christ.
Okay,
I go,
so
that's
when
the
did it
dumbest
turn?
shit. And he goes, hey, man, I got a master's in engineering. Look into it. And I just wanted to go. I just went home and I was just going to
How about looking at what fucking school that was so we can tell people?
Yeah.
Phoenix Online.
But hey, man,
that's the same shit.
Yeah. I'm so crazy. I so don't believe anything.
You want something else to do.
Yeah, I tried to debunk it. I was trying to debunk it. I was Mr. Debunker.
Eddie, there's a fucking Japanese satellite that takes a photo from 22,000 miles
those are the worst
every 10
pictures
minutes.
ever. Come on, those Japanese
It doesn't
pictures.
show that it's flat, though, even if the pixels all fucked
pull
up.
up those pictures. It does not
Those
the worst
Japanese-
pictures.
put up those
Eddie,
Japanese pictures.
It's from 22,000 miles away.
I can't believe you believe those pictures.
Do you remember when you had a flip phone?
Man.
You remember when you had a flip phone, dude, and you had the front-facing cameras were always dog shit?
Always.
You know, and the back-facing one was pretty legit.
They're all, yeah, that's how it works, man.
22,000 miles away. It's hard to take a good iPhone 7.
So have you ever seen a picture of it flat, though?
Eddie, no, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. But the crazy thing, I'm not saying it's flat. I'm just saying, damn, when you look into it, I'm saying we don't know what the fuck we're on.
But wait a minute, Eddie.
That's what I'm saying. We don't know what we're on.
This Japanese satellite. Hold on, Eddie. This Japanese satellite that all these hundreds of scientists worked on for like NASA. A decade.
They fake moon landings.
They shoot it out into the space. They take
the moon landings.
A picture every 10 minutes, and you can download it from the website. There's
CGI composites.
So constantly making CGI in some sort of a computer bank somewhere.
Yes. Like they do it in NASA. NASA, that's what they do.
Why do you think if they have the technology to make CGI that looks that good, why don't they have the technology to shoot a camera into space?
Where's the pictures from NASA? How come they don't have any?
They don't have that space kind of
they don't have the technology?
No, they just never did it.
They also don't give a fuck about proving it's round.
These Japanese pictures, I've seen them. Put them up.
They don't
They're
have
terrible.
that kind of
Show me a
space
real
satellite.
picture. Show me a real picture.
Listen, NASA does not have one of those satellites.
Fake.
Why do you think that's fake?
That's fake as fuck.
Why does it look fake as fuck?
It looks like something you'd see in a movie.
That's because when they do it in a movie, they try to make it look like this, which is what looks real.
If that's real to you, man, shit.
You don't think it's real?
They faked 6 moon landings.
Stop saying that because it's irrelevant. We're not talking about the same people.
It looks fake to me.
Eddie, that's 1969. We're talking about 2017.
That looks fake as fuck.
So you think there's some gigantic conspiracy involving the Japanese government where they put up a fake picture of the Earth from 22,000 miles up every 10 minutes.
Yeah.
High resolution, downloadable photo. You think it's fake? Well, why wouldn't it be real? Why isn't it just as likely that the Japanese actually did launch that thing into space? Why would it be fake?
It's propaganda, man.
Okay,
why would they care that it's not
Is there
flat?
a photo of this flat Earth?
No, I don't. Like I just said again.
That's what I asked.
There's no photo of the flat Earth from space. There's no photo of the round Earth from space.
That's not true. That's not true.
It's all fake.
No, why do you say they're fake, though? What
they
evidence?
look fake. They look CGI.
But you're not an expert in imagery.
Looks fake to me.
What would convince you, though?
When I watch Avatar, I don't need to be an expert to know it's fake. When I watch Avatar, I'm not an expert. It's fake.
Avatar's at the movies. When you watch some ridiculous kung fu video, being a martial arts expert, if you were sitting next to someone who told you that their sensei can't compete in the UFC because they're too deadly, wouldn't you get pissed off? Because you're an actual martial arts expert. That's just like you, with no science background whatsoever, talking about these photos. I know, but why think like that?
I'm crazy.
But why indulge that?
I'm crazy.
But why not indulge?
Crazy.
Why not indulge the full realm of possibilities and not cling to the conspiracy every single time?
No, it's NASA can get pictures. They've been doing CGI composites
but please answer
this
my
whole
question.
time.
Forget about stating what NASA does. Please answer my question. Why do you always go towards the conspiracy? Why do you never consider the possibility
Too many
that maybe?
Lies.
But Eddie, they're not the same people.
It's all the same.
So everybody's
lying? It's a global thing. Yes, all the European space agencies lying.
They're
all in on it. It's a global thing.
So what do you think's going on up there?
I think all governments, most of them, the globalists, they're all working together to control their
What's the
people.
advantage, though, Eddie, if the Earth isn't round?
Yeah, I told you, I'm crazy.
I know, but what's the advantage that it's not round?
Then if
they control you, bro, with
they
the
just
ice
want to
wall.
fuck with us,
keep you on a. There's I don't know, man. I don't know what it is.
Doesn't make sense.
Look
Why wouldn't
into
they
it.
doesn't
Look
make
into it.
sense. Why?
They could just control
Why
people
You
just
gotta
as
find
easily
out
on
and
a
find the
ball.
sense. You could find the sense.
No, the real
it's really
problem
easy.
would
You put
be-
them on a ball because, again, I'm crazy. You put them on a ball. My guess is you're on a ball. You're nowhere. Don't try to go anywhere. Just stay there and work.
Oh hell no!
Stay
You
there
saw
and
the
work.
Truman
You ain't
Show.
trying to go
You
nowhere.
watched
So they
the
sat
Truman
down.
Show a little too
So they
much.
sat down and said, you know what? We got to release some fake math that shows that you can demonstrate that the Earth is round. We got to
Dude, there's no
release that.
pictures
We got to
of
work.
the Earth from space, man.
What is that? We just looked at one, Eddie. Stop saying that.
It was fake.
You don't know that it's fake.
Okay.
But you're saying, look, it's a real problem when you
I'm
say
crazy.
something. But don't say that.
I
Just
am.
stop. Just stop and think. Because you're communicating to millions of people. And
Exactly.
you're saying something that doesn't make any sense.
It does make sense.
But you don't know anything about imagery. You don't know anything
don't?
about what. You don't know anything about that.
It looks fake to me.
You're
don't have a
saying
That's
it
a
looks,
fake-ass
but you don't
picture.
have. Come on, Eddie. You're just looking at it with the naked eye. It looks real to everybody else in this room. I
Okay.
think you're
So
coming
what does
at
that
it
make
with
me?
a confirmation bias.
Crazy, right?
I don't think it makes you crazy.
I'm just having fun with it.
But you have
So don't-
this
don't-
direct
yeah.
inclination to always go towards a conspiracy.
It
when I
doesn't.
think
Why
it's-
does it doesn't
it
have
gives
to
your
piss
opinion.
anybody off?
It's a disservice
You should just
towards
be like,
your
hey,
opinion.
that's what you think. Cool. No, it
it's-
doesn't have to. Like you're getting angry about.
No,
it.
I'm not getting angry at all.
Well, we're
I'm-
just
I'm
being
not even-
stoners here. We're
but
being
I'm not
stoners.
raising
I'm like,
my
I don't
voice.
believe that shit.
I'm not raising my voice. What I'm trying to do is corner your ideas. I'm trying to corner your ideas because you're saying these things to. You're very influential. You're saying these things to millions of people, but
Yeah.
I don't think you're thinking correctly.
I know. That's why I've stated many times
that you're crazy. But
I'm
here's the
losing
problem.
my mind.
When when do you think you started losing it?
I think I was, as soon as I found out when I was 11 that everybody wasn't Catholic.
That was it.
That's when I started losing my mind.
That's
I'm like,
what
wait a
did it?
minute. I'm like, everybody's not Catholic? I thought everybody was Catholic. There's other religions? Then how do we know we're right? There's a bunch. What's a Jew? Oh, shit, there's more Jews than Catholics? How do we know we have the right religion? I'm like, okay.
You start
then
questioning
right there,
it.
yes. That's when I started going crazy.
That's so funny.
People that question authority are usually looked at as crazy. Conspiracy theorists.
Yeah, but it's-
the CIA
No, but here's
coined the
the problem. I don't
term
think
conspiracy
stop,
theorist.
You're a smart dude. You're not crazy.
There's a problem in the way you approach these things because you approach them all knowing before you even start that they're a conspiracy.
I'm telling you what I
so
think.
that's confirmation bias.
I'm telling you, hey, dude, when you lie so much, you got to prove it to me. You lie so goddamn much, I'm never going to be saying the things that a defense
But you
attorney
don't
would
have
say.
to.
I'm saying the thing
I-
that
you
the
keep saying that.
prosecuting
You
attorney
say
would
that
say.
all the time.
That's what I'm
It's
saying.
not, but it's not a good. It's
I'm
not a good
saying-
analogy because it's court.
exactly how
and
I look
court's
at it.
filled with lies.
Yeah,
and you're allowed to manipulate the words.
government's being accused of lying,
I understand,
and
but
they've
this
been
is-
caught
but that's-
lying.
but
So
you-
they're in court.
But here,
so are
Eddie,
you
it's not
saying?
the
Let me
government.
finish, though.
It's not the government.
Oh, whoever, just in general.
It's scientists.
It's all government
Scientists.
scientists. You think scientists? You think there's these independent scientists come? It's all government scientists. They're all trying
But why
to
would
get their
you
grants.
think-
They're all.
why
they
would you
gotta,
think?
They control. You don't think the globalists haven't controlled
the problem
science
is?
and
The problem
information
is-
since day one?
You know what
You
the
think this
problem
is like a new
Brendan?
thing?
Their name, the globalists.
Dude,
if
I'll
they
tell
were
you
the
right now.
flattest, they would be like, yeah, it's flat.
It's flat.
But they're like, no, fuck these guys. We're globalists.
No, the
We're gonna
globalist
talk
is
to
what
these bitches.
I
Alex
feel
calls
like Eddie could
people
flip
that.
me if we just spent like a day together.
I think you're just trying to make fun.
Hey, I'm just having fun, man. I like finding.
I don't think Eddie's crazy,
trust.
though.
I don't trust shit
I
coming
don't-
from the government.
Well,
does that make me crazy?
But you know,
yes.
the problem
He's
is
got a little too
Yes.
deep, but he's
the
not
problem
crazy.
is this idea of the government. The government consists of a bunch of
They
individuals
control science, they
with
control
100
history.
different agencies. Eddie, do
Yeah,
you know
I
they
got
have
pissed hard.
infighting? Do you know like the CIA and the
Of
FBI
course
go
they
after
do.
each other?
Of course they do.
There's no one government.
There's a lot of personal shit going on in between. Of course,
But
they
it's
do.
not just personal shit. There's a bunch of different factions that you call the government.
I agree.
And the idea that it's
I
all
agree
like
with you.
the government can't be trusted.
I just say that because I'm not going to. I mean, you want me to pick out some agencies? Yeah, NASA. I could pick out some NIST. I could, but just in general, it's history, science, education, energy. Everything has always been controlled by the government since day one. Radio has been used as propaganda since the day it was invented. You think some independent dude just invented radio and then he started broadcasting like his favorite music and shit and his thoughts? No, it was the government from day one in radio. It was the government in all countries from day one in TV. In the movies, it was It was all radio, TV, and the movies have always been about propaganda. Always, in every country. It's nothing new. It's old school gangsters. Our country is the most
what does this have
gangster.
To do with, what does this have to do with the world being flat?
No, this is how gangster our government is. There was a war on drugs. We started a war on drugs. Turns out we're bringing it in. Then there's a war on terrorism. Turns out we created Al Qaeda. You understand why I'm crazy? I'm crazy because of that shit. I'm like, you could believe that shit. You want to believe that shit?
But the
Good luck,
problem
but I
is
ain't.
that you just apply this to everything.
Basically, anything coming from the government. Anything coming from the government.
The dinosaurs don't come from the government.
Just there's so much fraud when you look into it.
Astronomy doesn't come from the government. It comes from scientists.
Look into it. Look into it, man.
But Eddie, I have looked into it. Look,
dinosaurs are for kids.
Look, this is you could go over these different sections of the Earth.
Yeah,
well, you can look at the next one that comes 10 minutes later, and maybe you won't think that one's fake. Like, oh wow, that one's kind of real.
It looks all fake.
It doesn't look fake. To me, it looks like what the fucking Earth probably looks like when you're 22,000 miles away.
To you, it does, not to me.
But
this is NASA's.
It's no big deal.
Can
we agree to disagree?
Yeah, but why think that it does?
Because I don't trust shit.
Why think that
I don't trust
the government does make these fake pictures of the Earth? Don't you think that would be like a risky
could speculate.
thing?
You want to speculate? I mean, I could speculate.
I want to hear you speculate.
It's easier to control people when they're on a ball.
I've been trying to tell people that forever.
I don't know.
But like, we got to live on a ball. I told it to my wife. I said, it'd be easy to get the kids to listen if we just lived on a ball. Fuck this house bullshit.
I don't know, man. I don't know what to believe. I don't know what to believe.
That doesn't even make any sense. Why would it be easier to get people to listen if they're on a ball rather than they're on a plate?
Because if there's more land, people are going to want to work. There's actually more land. Shit.
What do you mean? There's more land.
Who knows? If you
like the
yeah,
world,
exactly.
like
That's
what are you talking about? I don't understand what you're talking about. Like more land.
You're saying if the world is flat and the flat Earth model is true, what's the point of it? What's the point of?
So all the math is fake. Like that the Earth is going 24 hours in a circle. Is that all fake? That it spins, it's going 1,000 miles an hour.
I don't. When you look into it, we're stationary. They haven't proved. If you look into the experiments, if you look into the experiments to prove that the Earth is spinning, all of them failed. Look into it.
What are you
you could just think that we've been indoctrinated into thinking
that's not true. That's not true.
Okay, I'm crazy. I get it.
Eddie, Jamie, what you gonna say?
I don't have the science in my head to back it up either, but that's not true. You can't say things like that. That's what Eric Dubé says, and he's not backing it up.
Where's the evidence that? Find the evidence.
There are 13-year-old kids in high school right now that can show you the evidence with scientific.
How come you can't show it to me?
Because I'm not in class right now, and I'm not up to date. I'm doing JRE work right now.
Okay, you're talking about some shit you don't know about. You're talking about some shit you don't know about.
But you're saying
I'm just saying I don't trust it.
You're saying something that people have been proving for hundreds and hundreds of years.
Look into the Michelson-Morley experiments. That was Einstein said it himself. Einstein said to this day, Einstein said it. There is no proof that we're moving. Dude, you guys just haven't looked into it. That's all it is.
You're watching YouTube videos, Eddie. There's a difference between looking into it and watching YouTube videos. Okay.
So let's say this. Okay, so what if it's true?
The same channel?
Okay, what if it's true that Albert Einstein said there is no evidence that the Earth is spinning? What if he says he said a quote? You say that's not true. I saw it on YouTube. But what if we find out that it is true? Then what?
What if they find out leprechauns are really butt-fucking genies
That's
on the
what
moon?
I thought. That's what I thought.
What does that mean?
That's what I said. So you're saying, do you really
think
on YouTube?
Einstein
You really
said that?
Look at
maybe in 1947 there wasn't much evidence that the Earth was spinning because they didn't understand it yet.
Okay.
But when you're talking about something that happened more than a century ago, Einstein is, look, you compare all the people that are alive today, whether it's Lawrence Krauss or Stephen Hawking's most famous failed experiment.
That's the Michelson-Morley experiment. It was they couldn't recreate it. It was in the 1880s. I looked this up when I was watching a podcast.
True science.
Okay, so listen to what he just said.
To recreate it.
No, Eddie, exactly.
You keep using that. Look at the Michelson-Morley experiments. I did. I read up the information on it. It's an experiment that was supposed to be able to be recreated. It was not able to be recreated. So that evidence is used by flat Earth supporting people. Like you just said, like, go look it up, go look it up.
Yeah,
so
true
I did
science
look it up.
is repeatable. You can't repeat
Eddie,
it. It's not science.
You don't understand
That's
what
you're saying. I'm trying to tell you that. That's the evidence you were trying to say. It's fake.
They say the experiment showed the Earth is not spinning. No one can reproduce that experiment. That's why it's not real. So this thing that you keep repeating is bullshit.
Okay.
And this thing that you keep, but don't, no.
Hey, where did you get this information?
Jamie.
Where'd you get it?
Where'd I get what?
This information. Where is this coming from?
This is coming off the internet.
Exactly. So
What
you're reading some information. I'm reading some information off the internet. You didn't go to the library. Oh, it's on Wikipedia?
Eddie, just slow down.
Eddie, stop doing
There's
that.
sources here. There's a book called the American Journal of Science. I'm sure that a lot of people respect
Which is
that.
bought and paid for.
Well, maybe.
It is. It's bought and paid for it. It's part of that.
Here's the thing, Eddie.
It's like the Washington Post.
Eddie, why would anybody be paying money for people to lie about the world spinning?
That's a very good question that everybody asks coming in. Everybody asks
coming into the group.
Yeah,
have a seat. Have some
getting
coffee.
knocked down.
My name's Eddie. And I
One
believe
by
the Earth's
one,
flat.
they're getting knocked
Hi,
down.
Eddie.
All you gotta do is look
Eddie,
into
they're
it.
not. They're not. They're
It's
not.
huge.
They're
Flat
not
Earth
getting
is
knocked
huge.
down. That's why we just read this thing that you've been citing, and you didn't even understand it when we were reading it.
You read
That's
off
how,
the internet.
But that's
you
how
read off the internet.
Where the
I
fuck
read
am
it
I
off the
supposed to
internet
read it?
too. I read it off
I don't
the
have
internet
any
too.
books here. I'll
no,
go
no,
find the
exactly.
encyclopedia if
no,
you
we're
want
both reading
and
off the
print off-
internet. We're both getting our information off the internet.
So you're
Eddie,
saying
one
who's
of
right?
them is peer-reviewed journals from
From
scientists.
American Journal of Science. Come
The
on,
internet
that's
is
like
also
NIST.
data
That's NIST.
and
That's like
Eddie,
that's like the
articles.
Economist.
So you think it's more likely that everyone is in on it and lying than it is one guy doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about and he makes a YouTube video and you get convinced. And it's attractive to you because it seems like it would be an amazing conspiracy to be ahead of. And you get trapped in the fucking rabbit hole and you go down the flat earth rabbit hole and you find yourself defending things with experiments that you don't even understand, which means you haven't
just
really
read
looked
some
into
shit
it.
that he pulled up off the internet,
But
and
I know that you don't
and you're
understand
like
it.
all over it.
I know you didn't understand
No,
it.
I understand it now. It
It
doesn't matter.
twice.
It doesn't matter.
But I understood it, and he had explained it to you twice. You didn't understand it. You were arguing
No,
for it.
no. This is the proof. Now I understand it. There was an experiment to prove that the Earth wasn't moving,
And it was not repeatable.
And then they proved it, but it
No.
But
No, they
but
didn't
what
prove it.
No.
They didn't.
Again, no. I get they didn't prove it, but
Right.
that doesn't mean that it's spinning.
Oh, Jamie, I'm sure you can find some evidence that the Earth is spinning. Eddie, people have known it's spinning forever. That's how the seasons
Gravity,
work.
baby.
That's how you see the sun. We spin around. That's why it makes
explain this
eclipses.
to me.
That's why we
That's why you
age,
can
too.
track time zones. That's why you can put a piece of stick in the ground.
You're saying all the
it
correct
acts
shit.
as it acts as a sundial.
You're saying all the shit.
Eddie, there's a fundamental problem with the way you approach these things.
No, there's not a problem.
The problem is you
I
go
don't trust
into
shit.
them.
You do.
But it's not that I
don't have a
trust shit.
problem.
No, but Eddie, you know I don't trust shit.
I'm having fun with it.
You know I don't.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if
That's
it's
a
flat
bad-
or round. It
that
doesn't
is a-
matter.
that's
I'm
a
having
bad
fun with it.
fallback. You keep saying that. It's a bad fallback because what we're saying is there are conspiracies. The problem is when you think everything is a conspiracy, you act as a psyop guy and you fuck people over that want to look at real conspiracies. Because the real
That's
conspiracies
what I
like
thought too.
the Gulf
That's what
of
I thought too.
Tonkin. Oh,
That's what I thought too.
okay. Like the Gulf of Tonkin, real like Operation Northwoods, real things that really happened. When you look at those things and people explore them, they go, "Oh, I don't think they really killed Kennedy." Are you sure? Why don't you look at this? Look at this stuff. There's a lot of really crazy evidence. When you start thinking that the world is flat, the dinosaurs aren't real, all this nutty shit that you believe, and you just jump into it with, the problem is it discredits all these other things that you believe that might be real. Because the other things have some validity to them.
You just haven't looked into it. That's all.
Eddie.
I used to say the same
Eddie,
stuff.
you're talking about the
I
Earth being
said this-
flat.
I'm
Thousands of
saying the
scientists
same
have
thing.
looked into it. You think they're all wrong? That's so insane.
You haven't looked into it.
I have.
No, you have.
Oh my God. How could I not have? You don't think I have? I'm watching you go down the rabbit hole. You don't think I try to pay attention to what the fuck these people are talking about? It doesn't work.
I don't think so.
Eddie, there's websites dedicated to debunking it. There's dedicated to showing you the science,
On the
showing
internet.
you the math that you can do.
How come when you check the internet it's valid, but when I'm on the internet it's not?
You're not talking about the internet. You're talking about a guy's YouTube video.
No, it's not. Guys, there's a lot of guys. There's a lot of people.
Okay, but they're just YouTube videos.
It's
Eddie.
huge. No.
The science behind them
It's huge.
is not verified by peer-reviewed journals. The science of the Earth and gravity.
The government science that's bought and paid for, of course. You start talking about
Eddie, this
flat
is
Earth
so
and the science.
crazy.
You just
You
haven't
think
looked
the Earth
into
is
it.
flat?
I didn't say that. I said I don't know if it's flat or round. When I see a picture of Earth from space, what we're sitting on from space, when I see a real picture, then we'll have the proof. I'm just saying we don't even have proof that it's real.
No, we're looking at pictures while we're sitting here. Okay, you're not even taking into consideration the fact that this is a monitor. That you're looking at this, you're not even get like the high resolution. I mean, they must be gigantic files that they get. You would never be able to see them in their actual resolution on a regular monitor in the first place. You're talking about a photo of the Earth. Photo of the Earth from 22,000 miles away, and they take one every fucking
Looks
10 minutes.
CGI to me.
The only way
Eddie,
you
it
can
might
convince
look,
him, Joe.
It might look CGI to you,
You have to jump in
I
a
could be
ship
wrong.
and go yourself.
No, I could be wrong. It could be real.
There's too many things
It
that
could
you
be
don't
real,
believe
but
in.
they've been faking them so much they look like all
That's
those other
n-
fake
but
ones.
that's not
they
good
look.
enough.
I've seen so many fake ones that NASA admits that they're CGI composites. There's so many out there. So when you see this one, it's like this is the same one.
Yeah, but
I've seen so many.
Fake
You go,
and
this is
CGI
another one.
composites is different. When
You
you
could
take,
believe- I don't believe it.
Eddie, please. When you take one of these photos, these what are those called? When you fucking do that?
panorama. I'll show you a-
Panorama.
When you do that, you know what that is? That's a composite. You're taking a bunch of photographs and they piece them all together. It makes one enormous photo. When you see these photos from space of the Earth from a closer satellite, not the NASA one that Jamie just pulled up, which does show a full-size image of the Earth, what you're seeing is they take a photo, they take another photo, and they piece them all together. There's no seams.
This is a composite
No,
photo.
no,
I
there's
took.
an actual
Yeah.
CGI
This is 3
artist.
photos.
There's
They
a
put 'em
CGI.
together.
I know,
no,
but
they fit together.
That
Eddie.
colors everything in.
Eddie, is this CGI?
No.
Hey, question for you. Is this CGI because it was made in a computer and it fits the definition of computer-generated image? Because
This
that's a
one,
composite.
this one could easily
I
be.
I made this.
This one,
I'll
this,
show you how
this
I made
could
it.
be. No. I'm just saying. But this could be easily a real picture.
But it is a
Easily.
real picture.
Well,
But
yeah,
it's
it's like
not.
that's not a hard picture.
where I was-
picture of Earth from space. That's a hard picture.
Where I physically was on the ground in New York City to take that with the camera I was using,
Mm-hmm.
that building would not fit in my lens. I wasn't far enough away.
But that's not what they're saying they're doing. They're saying they take strips.
That's
but-
what they're saying they do.
No, they're saying, I'm going to show you a video of the artist who actually did the latest one. They go, oh, NASA, here's the guy who did the latest
tell us what
picture.
to look at. Tell us what to look at. Let's watch the video.
Just put NASA artist
I
CGI
can't wait to see
picture of Earth, and you're going to hear him talking. And he says, it is Photoshop. It is Photoshop, but it has to be Photoshop. He says that word for word.
It's so
It's a
big.
NASA video.
Well, that's
what
what
does
I was
that
just
mean?
asking you to. I was
don't
asking you to
know.
clarify that. I'm trying to tell you. That's what I literally had to do. I had to have been farther away to get the photo in one photo of that giant building. But that, in order to get that distance away,
Did you color
there
it
were-
in with CGI?
There were buildings in the way.
You
yeah.
say- so you're saying
I put
they
it in
color it?
Photoshop.
Yes.
I put
He's
it in
talking
Photoshop.
About, he's going through the video going, sometimes I put green shades here, and I'm not an astronaut. I've never been to space, so I have to kind of use my imagination to
Well,
get
are they taking
Yeah.
black and
It's
white
the
photos?
latest
Is that
picture.
why?
It's the
Well, the
latest
color-
picture that NASA releases of Earth. Here's the latest one.
Real
and then
life
the
didn't look
CGI
like this that day. It's a little exaggerated. The darks weren't that dark in real life. The brights aren't that bright in real life. So yes, I added color to it. I did some artistry to it. But
That's bullshit.
that's what that fucking building looks like.
Okay, now find the CGI
Do you ever,
NASA
Eddie,
artist.
do
I
you
would love
buy
to
into
see that
anything?
video.
Do you believe anything?
I believe shit that I can prove for myself. Like I believe the science in like a skyscraper.
You
Why?
believe that's
Because I see
Sully?
the skyscraper. It's standing there. That's truth.
Right, but how much?
I believe in that
How much
science.
have you looked into like the science of space travel? How much have you looked into how much work was done to try to put satellites into orbit?
So you think we went to the moon?
That's not what I asked you. I said, how much did you look
you
into
think we
that?
went to the moon?
Eddie, answer my fucking
How come you don't
question.
answer my
you talk
question?
ridiculous.
See,
because
you're
you
trying to
talk
act-
in circles.
Okay,
You're
all right.
talking in circles.
I am?
They're ridiculous conversations. Everything
Really?
is the government. The government. The government. The government's fake.
Fake pictures. Watch,
I'm just asking you a question.
Punch up NASA CGI artist picture of Earth. I don't see that up there.
Eddie, it's so crazy.
Which one would you like me to click on?
Any of them.
Well, which
that
one
one right there, the
specifically?
second one right there.
This one?
Right there.
Flat
yeah.
Earth.
I mean,
No, just listen to him talk.
Okay,
He
stinky
only has
cash.
20,000 views.
Well, it's gonna get more now.
Hey guys, Jeff here, and today I want to share with you this article that's on
guy seems legit.
NASA.gov.
Are we allowed to
It's
play this?
about
this is the
Robert
guy who's a
Simmons,
scientist.
aka
Are we
Mr.
listening to him or the guy that made the video? You said we were going to listen to a scientist.
Well,
forgot from
it looked
NASA.
like the right video. I don't know. Look,
Maybe
but that
we
is
got
the
the wrong
guy. That
video.
is the artist, and that's a picture of the video.
His
He's
name's
talking
Robert
in-
Simmons.
talking about how he created the latest picture of Earth for NASA.
Okay, so what
They're
this is
celebrating
This is
CGI.
the Goddard. It's from the Goddard webpage. So he's doing a recap of something that's written on the Goddard webpage. So go to the Goddard webpage, find that guy's page,
Robert Simmons Photoshop. There it was.
and we'll see what he's actually
Blue
saying.
marble.
This one, I think so. Yes,
Is that it?
That
Okay,
guy looks
good.
so
Blow
skeptical in
homeboy
his
up.
picture.
What do you think is the most interesting your role here at Goddard? How do you help support Goddard's mission? My